Nation. Let's continue to grind to shine. Let's go. Be sure on your way in, hit that like button. Sharing is caring. Sharing brings a lot to the table. I really appreciate that. Let's keep grinding one way or another. The off season is long, but we right now at the midway spot. The draft time for your mind. The draft situation that can change the outcome of your team. That music that pumps down and vibrate off your eardrum also marinates into your heart, soul, and sinew. Let's go. Turn me up. Yep. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Come on. Win, lose, or draw. If you're a real one, let me see it in the chat. Real one. Bring it. We right here. And we ain't going anywhere. Let's go. Come on. Mama said there will be days like this. Mama was right? Come on. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right. Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening, the name is Law Nation, and I'm going to try to talk to you guys about this team and their draft board or what have you. Shout out to Blogging the Boys. They did their top, I would say, 60 board or what have you, and they put some players together, and I kind of like their list, so we're going to start off by going over their list, and maybe later on tonight, around 8 o'clock Texas time for your mind, we will all get together and we will do our own big, let's say top 50 board. We'll try to do that, and it will be justified by the way we're picking at the 24th spot. So, of course, on our big board, for example, I'm not going to put in Aiden Hutchinson because there's no chance that we'll draft all the way up or move all the way up to get an Aiden Hutchinson. I don't think that they would do that. But neither here nor there. Shout out to you, Asmodeus. Appreciate you for jumping in. Let me know, Cowboy Nation, if the audio is straight. Let me know. Mr. VIP, baby. Yeah, Mr. Browns. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. Shout out to everyone. On your way in, be sure to hit that like, share this content. The draft time for your mind is here. Let me go ahead and hear it. One way or another, baby. Yeah, Michael, what's good with you, man? So there really no person that can win, lose, or pretty much draw with this because we don't know. We just don't know. And breaking news earlier today, shoot. It was just like, let me see if I can, hold on. Let me see if I can get this going for you guys, man. Let me see if I can get this one going. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let me pull up my deal, and this changes everything. This absolutely changes everything. And let me stretch it out. Here's the breaking news for today. Yeah, you see that kid on the lower screen right there? Yeah, that's Jameson Williams. You know, that brother is already running, moving around, and that changes a lot of people's draft board, right? So at one point you could be looking at this thing and saying, all right, cool, you know, he's going to be going through his recovery. He's going to be going through time to recoup and getting ready. But nah, this dude is already catching, moving around, and his agent is Rocky Arsenal. For those who don't know, that's the same agent that Ezekiel Elijah Elliott is under. Now, is he 100%? No, but this also speeds up the mindset to say, okay, do you take a risk at Jameson? Do you look into this thing and say to yourself, hey, this dude now is going to climb up on most people's draft board. So whoever you thought that you was going to get now, you have to push it back. So if you said, okay, Garrett Wilson was the foreseeable first wide receiver off the board, now that's now pushed back, right? If you say to yourself, Chris Olave, I would love to have him. Now that's pushed back, right? Because this guy recovery is faster and closer to what people appear for it to be. So that is good news for Jameson. If you're really high on Roll Tide, Jameson, then you have to take into your mind and say to yourself, man, I can get this kid now who's pushing weight around, moving around as if he's already back into the folds of being normal. And that goes a long way, Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening. And on top of that, if somebody drafted a wide receiver when they was really supposed to get a guard or a tackle, now that pick slides back just a little bit. So you guys see what I'm saying? So this kid, his ability is going to show up real quickly, soon, more soon than later. How can we get a wide receiver in the second or third? This is from my guy, Jay Lombardi. Appreciate you. Thank you for so much for tuning in. Treylon Burks is working out in Frisco. Yeah, he's right down the street from Frisco. So, yeah, you're right with that, Jackie. Treylon Burks is another guy that if you're looking at your draft board and you look at your team needs and you look at your team wants and you go on by the philosophy of BPA and he somehow falls into that realm of being the best player available, then you pick him up. Don't play around with your food, right? But shout out to Blogging the Boys. They came out with an article earlier this morning, and this was their draft board top 60 players. And let me slide over a little bit. In round one, they looked at it like from their purview, round one, Chris Olave was the most polished wide receiver that they saw that would be good for the Cowboys. Not saying that the Cowboys would pick Chris Olave over Jermaine Johnson or over Jameson Williams, but this is their draft board. And in that round one tier, you have Jordan Davis. Of course, you have Zion Johnson. You have, with the likes of Trevor Penning, Trent McDuffie, Treylon Burks is there, Kenyon Green, and Jahan Doxson. So in their first round, let me pull it up let me just show you. I'm gonna go through the list, and then we're gonna pull up the full screen or what have you. In round two, they have Arnold, and then they have Christian Harris. They have Quay Walker, they have Daxton Hill, they have Roger, they have Kyler, they have George Pickens, and they have Tyler Smith, and they have Jalen Petre. Of course, Kennard is in the second round. In the third round, they have Nick, they have Alec Pierce, they have Farm, they have Christian Watson, and they have Brian Asamoah, and then they have Ed Ingram, Sanders, Sam Williams, Sean Ryan, Tariq Woolen, who is pretty good, by the way. I like his tape. And they give you this draft pretty much round 1, 2, and 3. And let's pull that up and let's make it bigger for everyone so they can see it. So with that being said, here it is right here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Now, when we look at this list and we say to ourselves, in a draft big board, the possibilities with the 24th pick, let me hear it, With the 24th pick in the first round, the Dallas Cowboys could literally select any of these guys that's in the round one. Now, what I want to tell each and every last one of you all, that either of these guys, I can present a statement and I can make you guys a situation whereas I can fight for, hey, this is the reason why Chris Olave will be good for us, right? This is the reason why Jermaine Johnson will be good for us. This is the reason why Jameson Williams will be good for us. Now, that same talk track, that same time frame, when you get to that 24th pick, and if these guys are available, that is what Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, Chris Hall, and all of those boys are talking. And, of course, Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. And what you can look at, John Fossil, Johnny Bones, you can say, hey, man, get out of here. Scram, But neither here nor there. In that first round, you're supposed to have these heated debates. You're supposed to bang on the table and say, hey, I believe that Jordan Davis would be the quote-unquote all-star for this team that would help Parsons run to the ball, fly, chase, hit things, move stuff out the way, right? And you're supposed to have somebody else in that room, the war room. They don't call this a love room. They call it the war room, meaning that you banging on the table saying that, hey, I feel what you're saying, but Treylon Burks will be the guy that we can utilize for years to come. And on top of that, if you like what you see out of Deebo Samuels, you would love what you see out of Treylon Burks. There's supposed to be some fisticuffs that's happening, right? And there should be somebody with a voice so loud that it echoes throughout the war room saying that, hey, if the Cowboys go get, hear me out, Zion Johnson, who is, dare I say, athletic, that can get to the second level, can move stuff out the way. On top of that, and a pinch, if you need him to play center, if you need to kick him back at guard, he can do both of those things, right? Right? And there's somebody that's arguing the same fact with Trevor Penning. So that's how this thing goes. There should be those heated discussions, right? There should be furniture being moved around, and there should be somebody saying, hey, with the 24th pick, let me go back to my chime. Come hell and high water, it should be Jameson Williams, right? Because you're looking for an explosive wide receiver with Tariq Hill type of burst. The ability to get off and get on the top of the defense to make sure that it's an easy situation for your quarterback, right? And not just that, a wide receiver like that can take the top off the defense, that makes account for two players at least, right? Can also help out your run game if you plan the numbers. So that is how all of this works, and that's how all of this shakes out. Shout out to your landlord. Say salute, Law Nation. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to give you, with the first donation of the day, landlord from Alabama donated $2 to help grow the nation. Appreciate you, man. Law, appreciate you. Akeem, he says, Law, why not? I'm not getting your notification. Just turn them off and turn them back on, right? James Buchanan says the 24th pick should be the offensive lineman. So when we look at, or you said defensive lineman, let me double check. Should be a lineman regardless. So he's saying that basically that with that 24th pick, it should either be Jordan Davis, Zion Johnson, okay, Penning. Now, or Kenyon Green, not to leave him out. But let's move over to the second round. I see Quay Walker there. I see Daxton Hill that's there. I see Roger. I like him. McCreary. Let me see out of this list in the second. I like Jalen with the 42nd ranked guy down there with the pick 39. I like that aspect of him. All right, and also I do see out of this list, Christian Harris. I really like his skill set and his aggressiveness. And then when we look over to the round 3 sides of things, you do see Nick, who I believe is like a really poor man's, poor man's Michael Parsons as he rush off the edge. But he's not a Parsons, by the way. I'm not saying that he is. He's not as strong and he don't have that type of skill set, but he is fast. Alex Pierce. If the Cowboys get Alex Pierce or Christian Watson in the 3rd round, man, my goodness, man. Don't you know how many backward flips I'm going to try to do? I'm going to go lose my mind. All right, and I do like Ed Ingram. Believe it or not, if he falls all the way to the 3rd, that's a good situation for us. And Sean Ryan, let's not get it twisted. I think that he is a pretty good guy that will play interior guard on the next level. He got tackle play, but I think he's, with his short arms or what have you, he's going to give you some guard action. Now, Tariq Woolen, if you're looking for a fast DB that can redirect, that's tall and rangy, that will fit right into a cover 3, you got to look at that number way down at 76 right there, Tariq Woolen. Yeah, look him up. Christian says you don't trade up for a 2-down defensive lineman. Well, I feel what you're saying. Let me pull it up back here. I feel what you're saying. The Dallas Cowboys draft board. A lot of things can happen to shake this whole thing up, right? You may have your eyes set on some player. Hear me out. You may have your heart set to one player. Hear me out. And then right before you're ready to turn in your card or what have you, you already have it all premeditated. I'm going to turn my card in for this guy. And then you hear somebody done scooped in and got the player that you wanted, right? And you said, man, this team wasn't even needing. That team don't even need that player. Why are they drafting him? So that's the only reason you would trade up. But I do not look at this team as it relates to how the Dallas Cowboys operate with that 24th pick to settle for them, to move all the way up. I don't see them doing it this year, knowing that they have 9 draft picks and the draft is the way they operate and how they operate within the confines of the bloodline for this team. This team really, really love draft picks. And by them not being the team that really dance in free agency, like I said in my previous video, they don't dance a lot in free agency on the front end. But, baby, on the back end, this team should be looking into picking up some free agent guys that teams got rid of. Michael Helton says Travis Jones in the 2nd round. And let me see. Is he on this big board list? I don't see him there on the big board list, but I would tell you it depends on how the Cowboys draft in the 1st round, whether or not they're going to go with the second round pick with an interior defensive lineman. Check out Sam Williams. Akeem looked at his tape front and backwards. Sam Williams is good, but you're not picking him up in the 2nd nor the 1st round. Sam Williams, I've seen some mocks that he fall all the way to the 4th round. But if you really covet him and if you look at your board, and like they have him right here, they have him right here in the 3rd, just above Ed Ingram and on their big board, and Sanders just above him. But if it was me and I had a choice to pick Alex Pierce or Christian Watson over Sam, I'll pick Alex Pierce or Christian Watson over Sam. And that's just my thoughts on that. More value to trade down and move 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Yeah, but you got to find your dancing partner. You got to find your dancing partner. When you look at value, let's say you get to the 24th spot and you say it's cool to trade down or trade back. Would you pass up? Let me ask you guys on a open question right here. Would you pass up a Zion Johnson, a Jordan Davis, a Jameson Williams, a Jermaine Johnson, or a Chris Olave, or a Treylon Burks? Would you pass up any of those guys just so you can say, yeah, I got now a Sam Williams and a Sean Ryan, right? Like, I picked up multiple guys. Would you pass up those guys to pick up multiple picks maybe in the 3rd round and say, well, it will be the same. I got Ed Ingram now and a Majai Sanders, but I passed up a Jordan Davis, or I passed up a Jameson Williams, or I passed up a Treylon Burks, because now down the line I got a Alex Pierce and an Ed Ingram. Would you do that, or would you just stay put, trust your board, trust your gut and say, okay, in my mind, for my homework, I know for sure Chris Olave can help this team out. I know for sure Treylon Burks can help this team out. Because what happened here in the draft is, hear me out before you guys pull out the butter knife and say, I'm going to shank him. But hear me out. You really looking for 3 players out of these 9 picks that can make an impact. In actuality, of course, down the line, you want to develop somebody. How many picks we had last year, Cowboy Nation? How many picks we had last year around this time? Was it 11 picks, 10 picks? Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to read your comments. Appreciate you, Jay Lombardi. Thank you, James Buchanan. Shout out to you, Asmodeus. You know, with the third donation of the day, Asmodeus donated $19.99 for your mind. Without a smash mouth offensive line, our skilled players will be at a deficient. I feel you that. I feel you on that. All right. Oh, wow. All right. So CG and Devon. So the consensus were, and I appreciate you for the donation there, Asmodeus. So the consensus is that we had 11 picks. 11. Out of that 11 or 10 picks or whatever we had last year, who was the impacted player? Who was the most impactful player on this team? Did we get all 11 guys to make a big impact? Were all, maybe let's say 5 of those guys made a big impact. Now, it's crass for me to say this because year one, you're not expecting somebody to do those things unless they was drafted early. But out of those 11 guys or 10 guys, there's only one name to stick out above all of those guys. And I see you guys putting in the chat, Michael Parsons, Osa, right? And Chauncey. Kelvin Porter says Osa and Chauncey. So let's use that number. We had 3 guys out of the 11 to make an impact for this team. And there's somebody banging on the table saying, nah, Nashawn Wright, man, he made a play, baby. The kick that was blocked, he fell on it and rolled into the end zone, right, and scored a touchdown. The great Gil Brandt, and I know his name has been walked all over because he said some egregious things on the radio about a player, may he rest in peace. But the great Gil Brandt once said that every draft player, rookie draft player, at least going to cost you one game that you're going to lose because of him, right? But what you want to do is you want to be able to draft player and gradually move them in, because if you give them too much responsibility, it'll just be too much for that player to digest, and they're going to cost you at least one game. Now, I'm quite sure that Michael Parsons last year didn't cost us one game, right? But in his mind, Michael Parsons probably was saying to himself, man, I blew that assignment. I made up for it because of my sure speed and my quickness. But, man, I really blew that play. He probably would not have let you guys know. But Coach Dan Quinn, if he's a stern, hard coach, he would let Parsons know, hey, man, you rushed through the wrong gap. Hey, man, you're supposed to flip. That was your receiver. That was supposed to be the guy you flip off on the flats right there. Yeah, the receiver. Although you're the linebacker, you're supposed to cover flat responsibility. You're supposed to cover the middle zone hook on the area of there. And I think, and I'm not putting this on the kid, Michael Parsons, but if you go back and watch game 1, week 1, he had hook responsibility, right? He's supposed to flip and cover Gronk in the middle of the field, but he pivot down inside, and he realized, oh, I was supposed to flip my hips and cover Gronk. And it was a touchdown, 6 points the other way. But that is what we call growing pains, Cowboy Nation. So what I want people to understand, that even your best of the best rookie that you will have on your team will at least cost you one play or one game, or you will have to sit back and wait for said player to develop. It is necessary. It is flat out necessary. Hear me out, Cowboy Nation, to understand that. Even if we draft O-line first, this is John. Appreciate you. Let me pull up this list again. Shout out to everybody who understands. Even if we draft O-line first, Zion Johnson, Trevor Penning, and let me see who else, Kenyon Green, that got first-round grades according to this particular chart. Even if we draft offensive line, there will be hiccups, there will be rainy days, there will be good plays, there will be bad plays. There will be a situation where people will be banging saying, hey, man, Connor McGovern played better at that spot than he did. If you think I'm lying, and my memory recalls a time when even Ezekiel Elliott in 2016, there were a few people saying, hey, Alfred Morris, put him back in. Ezekiel Elliott is hitting the wrong hole. And I remember, just like yesterday, give the young rookie time. And there were so many people saying, oh, man, that was a waste of a pick. Because behind this offensive line, he didn't produce the numbers that a lot of people were looking for. But that was his first game ever in a Cowboys uniform. And I think his first game, he started off with like 30 yards or so. And we lost. I think we lost. It was against the Giants. We lost. And then the second game against the Washington football team, I'm trying to go all the way back to 2016, we won that game. But it was a struggle. It was an early fumble, and there was a third of the fan base saying, look at the Cowboys, right? And I said, give it time. And around that third week, fourth week, fifth week, the guy was hitting his strides, right? So I want people to understand that the draft picks, that whoever you get, allow growing pains. And that is a part of the issue as well when you depend on the draft. When you depend on a bunch of young players to lead your team, and if you don't have a coaching structure to sit in the gap and to elevate players, it will be a long night, a long year. And I do understand that a lot of you guys right now are saying offensive line. Remember, when we got a Travis Frederick, a lot of people didn't like that pick. Remember, when we got a Zach Martin, a lot of people were like, hold on, what about this guy or that guy? Because offensive linemen are not those sexy picks. You know, that's just how it goes. Neither here nor there. Cowboys are stuck picking on offensive line. This is from James Buchanan. Yeah, I feel you. Now, I believe that this is Brian Broaddus picks. This is his top quarterbacks or what have you. This is in round one, and top running backs is in round one. This is his draft board. But let me look at, since we're not in the business of looking at quarterbacks right now, but this is also his wide receivers, first round grade talent. All right? So on this list, shout out to the mighty Brian Broaddus. On this list, he have Jameson Williams, who I showed you guys earlier on this clip right here. Let's watch it again. Let's see if we can watch it again. Let's see if we watch it again. Here we go. We're going to spread it out right here for everybody that's tuning in. Let's see. Let's see if we do it this way. Okay, here we go right here. Jameson Williams, he is working out. He is moving around. So with that being said, when we pivot and we look back over at this particular avenue, he still have Jameson Williams as his top wide receiver coming out of the draft for the 2022. Garrett Wilson is his number 2 wide receiver. His 3rd wide receiver is Treylon Burks, and his 4th wide receiver on his big board is Chris Olave. Let's give it up for mighty Brian. And let's look at this list again. It's a little different from Blogging the Boys list, and they didn't categorize as wide receivers only, but they do have Chris Olave being a top, and then they have it as Jameson Williams being number 2. So there goes to show you that there will be different people fighting for different players as it relates to their draft board. All right, so in round 2, he have the best players as their top: Drake London, George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore, and Christian Watson. Now let's break down this list right here. regardless of who the Cowboys go with, as relates to their big board, who believe that Sky Moore can help this team out, who believe that even Christian Watson can help this team out, even if you go and look into the third round of things, who believe that a David Bell can help this team out? Would he be better than what we got out of a James Washington or a Alex Pierce? Will he be better? You see how all of this stuff works? So what I'm trying to say is this wide receiver class, even if you go all the way down to the fourth round, I see Khalil's name. I see Danny Gray. I see Kyle Phillips. I also see the mighty Calvin Austin, the one with the C instead of the K. And if you look at the fifth round, I do see my guy, Velus Jones, who can give you some special team play as well. So you can find a wide receiver that can insert and be put on this team to help you out for the long haul. And I like that. If we draft Trent McDuffie, I will be mad. This is from Sam Rowe. Now, my thing is with Trent. Hold on right quick. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. My thing is with Trent, you will have to get him either in the first or the second round. I just don't see the Cowboys with the first round draft pick drafting a 5'9" or 5'10" guy to play on the defensive side of the coin. I just don't see it. I flat out don't see the Cowboys doing that. And would he help this team out? Yes, I feel that if you draft him, he will help this team out. But as far as the value or what have you, I just don't see the Cowboys, right? Like even like in the hearts of hearts, I don't see the Cowboys drafting a Jordan Davis. I just don't see the Cowboys doing that. They don't go for those type of picks. And if I'm gonna be 100 with you guys, if the Cowboys have the opportunity to draft one of those flashy wide receivers over a Zion or a Kenyon or whoever beyond, right? The Cowboys will draft a Treylon Burks or Chris Olave. That's just the flow of things, right? And they can make the justifications. If they do go with that mindset and say, okay, with the 24th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Chris Olave, from the Ohio State. Don't you know that the building will still explode? There will still be a lot of people say, yeah, boy, we going straight to the Super Bowl, baby. And you guys wouldn't hear the end of it, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. There will be a lot of people. I promise you, the cheers will outweigh the boos. That's the reality of it. But I don't want you guys to look at this and say, oh, man, it's doom and gloom, because we passed up on what we probably need more than what we want, right? I don't want you guys to say that. No. Nobody was banging on the table. Every time I did any video last year around this time, everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie were climbing out of the grave and saying, Lord, we need PS2, Patrick Surtain. We need him, baby. Right? Lord, we need a DB. I ain't seen too many people was talking about Parsons. And I was live every day that week. Only a lot of people were like, man, I'm going to stay away from Parsons, man. He was hazing some people, man. Got the off-field situation. He's a pass rusher guy that didn't play last year. You never know. He could probably be an LVA 2.0. We don't need another defensive guy like that. We need something more tangible, right? Go back and watch these people draft shows last year around this time. Nobody was banging out the table saying, hey, let's go get Parsons. Nobody was saying that. Well, only a few, only the people that's from Penn who watch and stay close to that area, right? And there's a lot of people that cap now and say, yeah, Cowboy Nation, I told y'all go draft Parsons, right? But if you were to ask them to do their big board, they didn't have Parsons above. None of those guys like Patrick Surtain, right? If so, then let me see their draft board without cap, So it is what it is at this time. But you can always make the justifications on day two or down the line. You can look at this thing and say, all right, if you do go with Chris Olave, then who do we pick up in the second for that guard spot or the third for that guard spot? That's how you have to look into that. Everybody wanted here we go right here. Everybody wanted Patrick Surtain or Rashawn Slater, right? And I like Rashawn Slater. I think Rashawn Slater is a dog good player. And I look at the possibilities of Rashawn Slater in the Cowboys uniform, and I think that he would have had a remarkable year last year, right? I do like the aspect of Patrick Surtain. We don't know what he would have looked like on the opposite side of Diggs, right? It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy good for us. Yep. And Trent is a risk with his ACL, I feel you. All players are risky. That's when the real homework comes in. You know what, K. Jackson? You know when the real homework comes in on those later rounds? When you fool around and you pass up on a tight end like let's see who they have here. Isaiah Likely of the worlds, right? And you pass up on a Greg Dolchek. And you pass up on Jake Ferguson. But you say to yourself, I believe Charlie Kolar could be a dynamic player for us. And people be like, who, Charlie Kolar? Who the heck is a Charlie Kolar? And then they start looking up tape, they start looking up film, and the dude just catches everything that's thrown his way. And then you start saying, okay, I'm looking at how he fits into the system of the Cowboys, right? But that's somebody who did their homework, right? When they pull up a Marquise Bell versus all of the other names that everybody else been banging on the table, and they see that Marquise Bell, when it's time to play down on the fourth side, he come down and field, right? Oh, he's the guy that erased the problems and the troubles of weak-minded wide receiver that come across the middle because he erased everything. Kolar is a baller, but Jelani Woods is a huge difference maker. Yep, I feel you. And I absolutely get it, right? Like Kolar is a baller, but Jelani Woods can be that difference maker, can have that speed that can vertically take over in the middle of the field. But also, what he fits in within the system that the Cowboys implement. That's another thing. Noah Ellis, defensive lineman, as a homework pick. Baby, I like that trip, Aces. I like that. In the later rounds, the Cowboys select Noah Ellis, and I believe that any of those guys, like a Marquise Hayes, right, in the second or the third round, you'll say to yourself, hey, man, he ain't going to be able to do this, he ain't going to be able to do that. But if you did your homework, you'll see, man, those powerful hands, the way he redirect and the way he stand, and he got his feet not that good, but he anchor inside. And when he gets inside, you're not moving him, right? That's a good pickup for the Cowboys. Because anybody that, even if you draft a guard in the first or the second round, it shouldn't be a cakewalk for them. No. Why? Because at the end of the day, if Connor McGovern looking at this opportunity, he's not finna just let a rookie waltz up in there and beat him out for a position. He's not. He's flat out not. But from a fan aspect, we would look at it and say, hey, he sucked. hit the bench. This rookie need to get the playing time. No, he's going to look at it like, nah, I'm looking at left guard. I didn't have the opportunity to have those majority of reps at that left guard spot. Now I'm fighting. I want to get my name out there. I'm seeing everybody else getting their paper, their bag. This is a contract year for me. Shoot. I'm fighting. First round is going to be a shocker for the Cowboys fan. You're right, Christian. It's going to be a flat out. Connor is a right guard. Yep. But the opening spot is a left guard right now. And he's going to fight for it. And newsflash, Cowboy Nation, I want somebody to fight for theirs. I really do. I don't want nothing given to no one out there. I want it to be as difficult as possible for you to put that star on the side of your helmet and put that silver and blue on and walk out there on the field. It shouldn't be, any of these wide receivers. It shouldn't be, I'm going to get the starting role to play on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb because I was drafted. No, you're going to have to outperform James Washington. And James Washington camp, yeah, we wanted J.C. Horn. Yeah, you're right, Akeem. And that's just what it is. James says false. I wanted Parsons. I feel you. You must be from the Penn area. You must be from Pennsylvania and all of that area, right? Right? But I didn't, when I went back and watched my videos, I didn't see no one put on their power rankings, on their draft board, Parsons over Surtain, Parsons over J.C. Horn. Don't try to create one now. But I didn't see no one putting out there that Parsons to the Cowboys over those guys. Now, I've seen multiple people say, man, Parsons would be dynamic for this team. Parsons would be wonderful for this team. But I just didn't see on a power ranking on a draft board from anybody last year around this time that they had Slater behind Parsons. I just didn't see that. And like I say, we do these shows every day. I just didn't see that. Now, I can see what people say, hey, he ran a 4.3, and he'll be dynamic for the Cowboys. But I didn't see anyone putting out one of these boards just like this and said, you know what, on my first round, I got Parsons. And then I got everybody, but I get it. People like to placate and cap and say, yeah, I had Parsons. I feel you on that. But I don't see a definitive board out there when people put Parsons above all of the defensive players, right? I just didn't see that because they didn't even know what he would have looked like. Even the diehard Parsons fan, they didn't know because he didn't play the previous year. He was a raw guy with high upsides, right? That opened everybody's eyes when he ran a 4.3, right? But it is what it is. I love Parsons for this team. Like I said, there will be a player that nobody see in this particular draft that's going to step up and show out, and everybody say, man, how did we pass up on this guy? Out of all of these wide receivers, it for dog sure could be Alex Pierce that flat out go to a team that's going to showcase his talent before Chris Olave put his shoes on. It could be any of these guys. It could be literally Tariq Woolen being the shutdown corner back, and everybody said, hey, man, I thought it was sauce, man. Right. 0 mock drafts. Shout out to you, George. But I get it, right? But it is what it is. I absolutely get it that people like to be right and nobody like to be wrong. Law was going to put it out there and be like, look, dog, I was wrong. Dog, I was wrong on this pick. But it is what it is. Give me Calvin Austin. Oh, yeah. Calvin is so fast, so elusive at the top of his route. Scott Moore, good too. Sky Moore, you probably say, hey, can he do it against stronger and better competition, right? Then you pull up the tape and say, okay, that do translate, right? So there's so many things. And appreciate you, Clifton Burnett. Thank you for jumping in. All right, so let's see what else we have here. That was, let me see if they got any other news out here as far as these guys. Appreciate everybody, man, that's tuning in. This will be one of the weeks, man, that we're going to be burning the midnight oil. We're going to be talking about draft pick, draft selections. And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, there will be a situation that this team, by the end of the week, going to change just like that. Flat out. All right? So, Parson born to be a Cowboy. Yeah, Jay Lombardi. Yeah. His father spoke highly of the Cowboys. Let's see what we got over here. Yeah, Sports Day. Let me see. They just announced something. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Mind over matter. Boston College Zion Johnson give the Cowboys O-line cerebral edge. Well, I look at this team, and I'll tell you guys right now, the holes that everybody think that we have all over the field, it's only 3. Offensive line, right? Defensive core that can either be a linebacker or an interior guy or an edge if you want to argue those 3 parts of the defense, right? Or you can just say front 7, right? One of those guys that needed to be on this team, right? Also, one can argue that the other piece of it is wide receiver. Just those 3. And this team can change just like that if you pick right. Now, one of the things, let me see if I can pull up this guy right here. Go all the way down to the bottom of their list right here. Amir Barno, Virginia Tech, super long guy, according to their notes right here. And regardless of their notes, he's another 4.37 guy. I think he wore 11 when I looked at his tape in college. Pass rusher. If you can pull this guy back in the later of the rounds and you give Dan Quinn another 4.3 edge guy, close your eyes and imagine what possibly can happen with that. 4.3. Like, when I looked at the tape and I was sitting there like, okay, what he bring to the table? And I saw sideline to sideline adjustments and movement. Flying out to the ball. Now, he's so raw. How can you circumvent that? Well, let's say Cowboy Nation, Amir Barno is drafted by the Cowboys. Day 1, do we have to start? Week 4, do he have to start? No. But what you're ultimately looking at is a player that's going to have to fight to stay on the roster, that's going to have to make sure that he can get reps in between Chauncey Golston, Dorrance Armstrong, and Dante Fowler. But if you put in a fresh leg in the 4th quarter that runs a 4.3 like that, that's flying to the ball, speed absolutely kill. Regardless of how you look at it, you turn on the tape, this guy is flying to the ball sideline to sideline. And I love that aspect out of him. Let me see who's like an underdog in this selection right here. I like Dane Belton. He's pretty good. He's an underdog. Who else they had in here? Oh, this right here, Brandon Smith. Who like Brandon Smith? Who for the show of hands? Who watched Brandon Smith tape from Penn? Let me see if anybody in this chat watched Brandon Smith tape when they're weak side linebacker. Any one of you guys watched that Brandon Smith tape? Oh my gosh, man. Not just his highlights, but in general, you watch the full game, his temperaments, and everything else that he brings to the table. Oh my gosh, it's now about pairing up. His closing speed is insane. He's another fast, shifty linebacker. And number 40, I forgot his name, is at the tip of my tongue. He wears 40 on the Penn defense, and let me tell you, strong hands, and when he come in and he hit, it's a case. You know, they got the forensic science people coming in, and Brandon Smith, the way he tackles, sometimes I look at it like, man, you don't necessarily have to hit the dude like that. You ever seen somebody? You know, he's a dog all the way. No, not Arnold. Not Arnold. It's the other guy. I forgot his name. He's wearing number 40 for Penn. His name is the tip of my tongue, but I remember numbers. But, oh my gosh. Sometime when Brandon Smith hit people, you be like, come on, man. You didn't even have to hit him like that. I mean, the quarterback is just sitting. Yeah. Jesse, look, how you say that, Lakita? He's pretty good too. I mean, he got range. I even saw him do a pick six. The dude got unbelievable hands. But back to Brandon Smith. This dude, when he hit you, you gonna say ouch? I mean, like, come on, man. He goes in. And he wraps, he tackles, he squeezes inside. And after he hits you,
he needs some milk.
I said, God, dog. But I'm looking for people like that can help out the identity of this team. I'm looking for I'm like Marquise Bell. Like this guy right here, Leo Chanel. I like guys that really come in and lay the wood to make you think about it, right? To say, you know what? We got the ball in the flats, and it's time for me to turn up. And now all of a sudden, my shin is where my chin is at. You know, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, my God. So I like thumpers. And regardless of this fluff league, the NFL being that it is, I like it. But that's when you really do your homework. With guys down in the low end, you know, low ends. And I'm so mad that they don't have James Houston on these mock draft panels. It's sad. Maybe I have to reach out to the playmaker, not the playmaker, but the prime, and say, hey, man, we got to start talking about this. And then if you want to do some developmental pieces, man, Troy Anderson will be one of those guys that you have to develop. And that seems such a Cowboys draft pick. Troy Anderson, Mr. Anderson. How long I've been live, Cowboy Nation? Y'all let me know. But by the way, to the person about 20 minutes ago about the interior guy, I really like, if we don't get an interior guy in the first round or the second, I really like Ridgeway out of Arkansas. I really like his skill set as well. You bring in somebody like that.
No.
None of that soft stuff. Because it's going to be this 54 minutes. Yes, Asmodeus. Appreciate you. It's 11:43. Hold on right quick. Let me see. Go right here. All right, so show of hands if anybody want to interact today. I got a couple more minutes here. If you want to call in, I can open up the phone lines. Let me know. Oh, Jaquan Brisker. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Look, I could turn the Cowboys into Penn / Alabama / I'm looking for some playmakers, baby. I like Jaquan Brisker. I do like him as well. And top of the morning, appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let me know. You guys would like to call in? Let me see if I can get it together. Get it together, Law 100. And we'll do some quick calls or what have you, just to open my mind up to some things. And we get going, right?
You are the only participant in the conference.
All right.
All participants are muted.
We're going to play my song. And let's go.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, line.
Roll Tide, huh? Something's changed. Something changed. It's going to happen. Something's going to change. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Something is about to change, baby. Gotta go to the phone line for your mind. We keep it open. If nobody called by this song, and we'll end the show. How about that? That'll be a good exchange. Phone line for your mind is 657-390-7391. And keep in mind, tonight, around 8 o'clock-ish, we would do a live top 50 draft board. We'll do that live so that everybody can participate. There we go. We got somebody in here. 970, you're live.
Let's go, Cowboys!
Yeah, let's go with it.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit about Parsons. How good do you think he'll be this year?
I mean, he won't have to think as much. He'll already have it into his mind when he flies out to the plays. I think he will be even better Parsons this year than what he was last year.
Yeah, I really think we're going to do good things. I've been a Cowboy fan since I'm born in 1966, and I've been a fan forever. And I really believe that this is a year because they say quarterback is in real good shape this year. So I really think we're going to do really good this year. I just have a good feeling.
Yeah, he got a more clear mind. He's already working out, and
I think they've been listening to all the people negative talking about him and stuff. And I really do believe that good things are going to happen for the Cowboys. I really do.
I echo what you said.
Yeah. And I think some of these draft people we're getting and stuff. I think we already got a pretty good team.
Right. Right. We just need 3 pieces, man, to help this team.
Yeah.
That's 3 pieces.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
3 pieces, and that's all I'm looking for in this draft.
Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to see how Michael Parsons does this year.
Oh man, I'm putting my bottom dollar on him, man. Yeah, that's Parsons.
Yeah, I'm really seeing. You think he might be Defensive Player of the Year?
I want him to strive to be such. I don't want him. One thing I don't want Parsons to do, and I think he said it himself, I don't want him to go chasing stats. I don't want him to go chasing numbers to say, hey, I want 23 sacks for the season.
And what about Diggs? He won't probably have the same amount of interceptions as last year, but do you think he'll be as good this year as last year?
I want Diggs to play the same. I just want the safety that's over the top, just vibing with him. I just want that safety to play better.
Yeah. All right. Well, I enjoyed talking to you. I watch you every day, you and Mark Holmes and all you people. You're doing a great job, and you have a good day, sir.
You have a good day and a better tomorrow, man. Thank you for calling in. Salute.
You're welcome.
That's a good call from him, man. Good call. Good call from him. Let me give him one of these. $860, what do you know?
Yo, what's good, bro? It's your boy Lovey Brown from the Boogie Down, Mr. VIP, baby.
Yeah, man. What you know about that VIPs, man? What's good with you, man?
Yeah. I'm I'm just praying on it, man. Since the last time we talked, that Jerry took the message, and we not parking lot pimping. We going inside. We getting big bottles.
yeah. Give me them big old hands, man. I want the Hennessy bottle with the sparkles out of it. You know.
Yeah, man. And what I'm kind of torn in between. I want that big body tackle because I know that will free up Mike. That will free up Mike and let him do his thing. But if that wide receiver's hitting, man, it's kind of hard to pick in between two dimes, you know? I'm looking at two dimes right here. Lord, what do we do, man? Is it a menage? How do we get this open, man?
Oh, my gosh, man. Hey, but we got to make sure we have a bed, though, you know? You got to make sure you have the foundation straight, you know? Just because you gotta, you know, you gotta make sure you can drive off. So hopefully the Cowboys can drive off, you know. So this is what I want people to happen.
We can fly off.
This is what I really want them to happen. If they do decide to go with the wide receiver with the 24th pick, they better make sure with the second pick out of the draft or what have you in the second round that they solidify that little issue that we have with that guard play. I'm not quite sure we can do that.
I think that's where we move up. I think that's what they were. That's where we move up to get that guard.
Right.
I believe that's what he was trying to say. That we in play to move up, maybe to the end of the first to get a guard.
Right.
And then that will solidify our two problems.
I mean, yeah. I mean, quite frankly, yeah. If you look at it and say, all right, they pass up on my guy Zion or they pass up on Kenyon Green, that's okay because I can live with Chris Olave. I can live with Jameson Williams, but they better go back in the second round to go make sure that they cover up because what you don't want to happen is in the third or fourth round, you see them draft, they try to look for the fill that guard spot, and it could be very messy for them.
Nah, we can't do that because that's Dak's private protection, man. That's Secret Service.
Yeah,
we need our Secret Service right, bro.
Most certainly, man. What else you have for the show?
Well, Lord, I just want to say keep doing your thing, man. And I love when you have your brother on, too, man. Even though he's a Sam friend, man.
Oh, my God.
I just love to see I love to see the good vibes, man. Because I want to get back at him because, you know, we owe them. We owe them.
Hey, he remind me every day. He probably listening now. You know, low key, I tell him, man, he know more about the Cowboys than some Cowboy fans.
all of them do. They all do.
Right.
You know what? They all look up to us.
Yeah.
You know, Jerry's got that Jerry world, so they all kind of sideline look up to him. But man, I really think I know Cowboy fans here. Let me tell you, this is a shocker. We were 12-5. Not 5-12.
Right.
All right.
Hey, you can only imagine. You can only imagine. You see, I can't fold up. I can't fold up at all arguing with him because back in the 90s, it was me arguing with him that Troy Aikman is way better than what's the quarterback there? I forgot. Steve Young. It was me arguing against him that Michael Irvin is way better than Jerry Rice. See how we
Playmaker, baby.
Yeah. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, fam.
It's all love, man. Keep doing your thing, Law.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. That's the manager right there. I'm gonna call him the manager. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. That's why I can't fold up when we debating about the Dallas Cowboys organization and franchise. Although we can cry and moan, I'm about to say the B word, but it's too early for that. We can cry and moan to talk about the Cowboys. It's been 27 years. It's been 28 years for them, right? It's been longer. Although they made it to the Super Bowl, they also held that L. And baby, I promise you guys, you do not want to be that person that get all the way to the Super Bowl to hold that L. You don't want to be that person. Shout out to my guy, 469. What's on your mind?
When you see that 469, you know it's about that time. What's up, Law, baby?
Up to it, Jay, man. What's good with you, man?
Man, doing all right, man. I'm a little bit under the weather, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know what's going around. Hopefully it ain't that C-19. We ain't going to even talk about that.
No.
One thing I wanted to say was I'm just looking at the draft, you know, our three biggest needs, O-line, wide receiver, edge rusher, depth at linebacker. I said three and I gave you four. But, you know,
I could substitute depth of linebacker with tight end, but I think if we stay put where we are, if we're not trading up to go get Jordan Davis, we stay put where we are, and it's gonna fall to us. I think we need to be patient. I think a lot of people are underestimating the depth that's in this draft, especially if you're talking about, wide receiver, offensive lineman. If you can't get a day one starter, you can definitely get a guy who can come in and compete in training camp.
Right.
So a couple of guys. So I think staying and playing, I think that's the way to go for this draft.
Yeah, and if you really want to be a little risque, like the VIP baby, he just called in. Then you do that in the second and third. You just say, man, you got what you really wanted based off of BPA. Then you get greedy by going back into the second or third round. You just try to move up to get those top 100 players. I think the Cowboys got enough real estate to do such in this draft. I think they do.
Yeah. If you look at all our previous drafts, man, we that's what we do. That second, third, fourth round, we're always moving around. We're trading, getting more, moving up, things like that. So expect that to happen.
No doubt, man.
That's how we. Yeah, that's how we operate. So stay and play, and that's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, I'm gonna say, man, I've been checking out the last few videos, man, and I've been missing those ended soliloquies, man. I'm not gonna lie, Law, man. Them bad boys get me pumped and motivated. You know what I'm saying? I be like, okay, I'm going to the gym. Law said if there's anything he's willing to fight for, the toil day and night for, struggling. I'll be waiting on it, man.
You waiting on it, man. I got you today, man. I've been cutting it real close 2 times in a row, man. My live streams. One time my little one came running in. She unplugged the internet cord. The other time I was like, well, hey, I get real mad real quick. So I'm like, let me get on off this thing. But that's just how it goes, man. Yeah. But it's all good, man.
Hey, that uplifts and sets the tone for the day. And I know I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know for a fact I'm not. So, man, if you got time, please squeeze one in today. That's all I'm asking.
I will, man.
Appreciate you, Law.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to get on. Appreciate you. Love you, Law. I'm tuned in. I'm all the time. Hit that like. Hey, it's too many people in the chat not to hit that like, subscribe button. I think we got like 50 or 60. We got more than that. Y'all hit that like button for the algorithm. Go to Nation, baby. It's Law Nation out here. Let's go.
Yes, indeed, man. That's a good call from my guy, man. Yes, indeed. Man, I get it all the time. I feel you guys so much, man. This is like therapy to me, right? This is literally, you guys can help me out. And I pull all of what I say from life, actually going through the motions. And sometimes it comes straight from the heart. And I trust me when I say this, Cowboy Nation. If I ever said anything to get you looking at me like, man, this dude, man, he thinks he's cocky or he think he knows it all. Trust me, man, charge it to my head, not my heart. I promise you guys, I don't think that way. But 337, you in the loop. What's good? 337. That rhymes with 11. 254, you in the door, man. What's good?
Hey, what's up, Law?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me.
First time caller.
Okay.
Just want to say, man, hey, don't worry about nothing in the draft. We got a lot of old linemen that are all into the third round that are very good. So we could go BPA, this whole draft.
Right.
So that's what I say, man. And keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, keep your head up. Rock on, Cowboys.
Appreciate you, man. I thank you, man. BPA, that's the way. What? You got something else? Got something else? That's it?
No. I'm good.
Appreciate you, man. 254. Appreciate you, man. Look, I tell people all day, man. BPA. Hey. It should be BPA all day, baby. Best player available or best athlete available, BAA, if you living into those worlds. All right, I got Uncle Charles who been sitting here, man. Shout out to you, Unc. What's good?
What's up? Good morning, Lord. How you doing, baby?
Man, I'm well, man. I'm good.
That's good, man. That's a blessing, man. Let me just say this. Lord, we are at the footstep of greatness here. We need to really fix this offensive line. We got a lot of things to address. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna ask Long real quick. Let me ask you, Long, what do you think we need to address first? This offensive line, another pass rusher.
Oh, all right. So there's two ways you can look at it. Do you want to get to the quarterback or you want to protect the quarterback? I'm with the notion right here that I want to protect the quarterback. And Dak Prescott, you paid him $160 million. You want to protect the most valuable asset on your team. So I'm building with the offensive line first.
Right. And the offensive line keep him upright because this offensive line has just been causing us problems for the last 3 years now. And I appreciate that, Law. You just answered the question because now I know what we're doing going into this draft. Let me say this. Right. I got a public announcement. Here it come, here it goes. If you don't like it, I really don't care because you're over there and I'm over here.
Right.
Let me just say this. It don't take long for you to get up in the morning. The first thing somebody do, they just walk straight out the house. Don't nobody want to see that chewing on the corn in the middle of your eyes. Take a hot rag and wash your face, and then, for God's sakes, put a fresh piece of mint in your mouth. Because I like to got killed at the store. They asked me where Walmart was, and I swear, Lord, she smelled like she had a dead body in her throat. Let me just say this, man. I keep telling my cousin. I said, look, man, you know what happened last Thanksgiving I was over there. You know I don't like that damn cat King. And right. King built like a duplex. And I went on over there like a damn fool. I went on over there, and his girlfriend, she 82, he 55. He said, you know we get married. I said, when? Next year? I said, you need to marry her now. She damn near dead now. And then all of a sudden, King jumped up on the table. And I was almost finna eat my ham and ice potato salad, and then he started scratching himself. I said, hey, cuz. He said, what's, man? I said, man, your cat, man. He said, what's wrong with the cat? I said, man, he been scratching his ass for the last 10 minutes. I submit to you, he ain't got but 2 minutes ass back there. Now, either he going to scratch what's going to stay or scratch what's going away. But could you get his ass off the table today? And that's all I got to say, Law. Service announcement.
Appreciate you, Hog, man. Man, always bringing the heat, baby. That's Unc right there, man. Oh, my gosh, man. There's always a good sting to this man's stories, man. And hey, get that king cat off the table. All right. We got another person from the 205, man. 205's been live today, man. What's good? You live?
Man, what up, Law?
Nothing to it, fam. Talk to me, man.
Hey, man. I seen the little clip where they were like Skip Bayless was talking about, they should have signed Colin Kaepernick as a backup quarterback for Dak. How you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's like 2-3 years too late. I like Colin Kaepernick as a prospect coming to this team or what have you to help out. You want somebody that's similar to your starting quarterback, but that at this point the Cowboys are not built to handle that, and I think that Colin Kaepernick should get an opportunity to play in the National Football League for another team, not the Cowboys.
And I got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is Tony Pollard year, or they gonna still kind of hold him back? Because I feel like, Zeke can be that. He's a great blocker as far as being a running back. He's a great blocker.
Right.
But as far as kicking it in that third gear, he ain't got that no more, and we know that. But he's still a great blocker. He's still a good asset to the team. We just signed another fullback. So
right.
Do you think this is Tony Pollard's year, and how you think they're gonna work that out with him?
I think Chris Nall, the other fullback that we signed, he's for the special team purposes. He's gonna be on the special team. I think that what can help this team out tremendously would be Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the backfield working together. There shouldn't be a definitive who's the number one running back or the number two running back.
Right,
I think that they should utilize – look, go watch the opening series of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Chargers. That's when they finally utilized Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the backfield at the same time, and the offense was clicking.
At the same time, they're more, and a lot of people said it, they're more dominant at the same time.
Right.
When you got them back there, because first of all, it's like a Michael Parsons chess move. You don't know who they gonna give it to.
Right. I mean,
and so that's something you got to think about. Like, we don't know they're gonna get Pollard. We don't know they're gonna get Zeke, and so it throws the defense off sometimes. So you're correct.
I mean, the best example that I can use, I can find, would be when they had the Steelers. They had Fast Willie Parker, and they had Jerome Bettis. Now, I'm not saying that Ezekiel Elliott is Jerome Bettis, but if you look at what Jerome Bettis and Fast Willie Parker were able to do together, it was remarkable. And they used that running set to go all the way to the Super Bowl. So they need to do that.
Right. All right, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, Law, man. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, fam. From the 205. You kept it live with us. All right, we're going to let the 337 one more time. 337, you're live.
What's up, Law?
Nothing to it. Talk to me.
How about them Cowboys?
All day, every day. Yeah.
No, what you think about this, man? We handle our offensive line first round. I said since the wide receiver class is so deep,
right?
Why don't we just wait till the second round to look at some wide receivers? Because I really feel we can't miss on wide receiver in the second round. It's so deep.
Right.
And then
go ahead with that point. Go ahead.
And then third round, I say look at a linebacker at depth, some kind of linebacker.
Right.
What you think about that?
I mean, with that philosophy, I think that you're right on the money. Yeah, there are. Let me pull up Brian Broader's big board on wide receivers. So in the second round, you have a Drake London, a George Pickens, a Jahan Dotson, a Scott Moore, and a Christian Watson. So any of those guys can help out this team in the second round. Or even the third round, you have Miche, Alex Pierce, just if those guys fall. Now, everything can change in the draft depending on how teams look at that. I feel what you're saying. But if the Cowboys know for sure, if they feel down in their hearts, and they having that argument that if Jameson Williams is there and they really believe in Jameson Williams, then they shouldn't play around with their food and they should go ahead and draft him. But I feel what you're saying. They should go get that guard if they see that Zion Johnson or a Kenyon Green could be that guy that can help them out. Then they should stick with what they know. Don't get too cute with it. Don't trade up out of the first round to hope that you can. Don't do that. Don't do that.
They got too much good things you can get at 24.
Right.
Now to help us. That can really help us.
Right. Don't be too greedy.
My pet cat at wide receiver is Pickens. I just love his aggressiveness.
Oh, George, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
What he is Michael Gallup, but with a little bit more of Mama's cooking on it. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle some of Mama's cooking. He's Michael Gallup, but with a little bit more season.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for taking my call. I'm a first-time caller. You may see me in the chat at Montgomery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Montgomery, man. Keep holding it down, man.
Thank you so much. Hey, man, you're the best at it, my brother. Take care.
Oh, man, I try to be, man. Appreciate you. Good call from him. Good call from him. That's good, man. From Montgomery, 337, man, holding it down, man. Everybody, look. The craziest thing I want you guys to keep in mind. 3 types of situations that can happen right here. The Cowboys can go with the BPA on their board. The number 2 thing could be they can look at the need on their board. The number 3 thing can be they can sit there and have the need and the want and say, you know what, we're going to slide and moonwalk back. And hopefully, we get multiple seconds and third-round draft picks to go grab somebody from there. Now, that's the risk with the 24th pick if they do decide to slide back. And if they slide back and they miss out on the person that they really want, then that's shame on them. That's this button right here for those who don't know. That's the shame. And I ain't talking about the walk of shame.
Shame. Shame.
But one thing I must say, the only way that can correct this, if tags are touching, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. If tags are touching, if they're touching just like that, and they say, okay, we were sacrificed, missing out on a Chris Olave to move back just a little bit at the 24th spot, and you can pick up Treylon Burks at the 26th or the 27th spot and pick up an extra third, then that, my friend, would be a good decision. Kind of like what the Cowboys did with Parsons. They slid back just a little bit, they gambled, and they were still able to get Parsons. But in the actualities of life, they didn't know that Parsons would be Parsons. There's no way that they knew Parsons would be Parsons. And they move off of them like that. But it's just how the world works, Cowboy Nation. All right. 657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. There was somebody that called in, but you jumped up off of there. But I appreciate you anyway. We're going to leave it open for another minute or so before I bounce like a basketball. You know, I got to go. But I'm going to let that one more person call in to the show to give me your sentiments. 657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. Give it a couple more seconds. Here we go. We got Mississippi in the house. 662, what's new?
We need offensive line. Line Colton from Greenwood, Mississippi.
662, what's new? All right.
Offensive line. You need offensive line. Line Colton from Greenwood, Mississippi.
All right, I hear reverb in there, man. You got the echoes up. But we need offensive line.
Yeah, send 2. Then come back last season, second round.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Appreciate you, man. You represented Mississippi well, man, all the way from Greenwood. I see that number, man, 662. I know that number when I see that number. Appreciate you, man. You're right, man.
Goodbye.
We do. He absolutely said what we need. But we draft BPA, best player available, right? But he's not wrong and he's not right. That's the beautiful thing about it, Cowboy Nation. And we can paint a picture of why the Cowboys should go with an offensive line, or even I can literally write a whole analysis, right, with synopsis and everything else on why the Cowboys should execute the draft analyses of the plan to execute Tyler Linderbaum, right? I can really draw it out, right? We can do all of those things. And the craziest thing of it all, in order for you to properly grade a draft, it takes 3 years, right? One being the first year they get a lot of mulligans. They get a lot of chances and opportunity to develop. But you will know more and more about that player's character and their ability after the third year, believe it or not. It's still too soon to judge and make a finalization of Trayvon Diggs, C.D. Lamb, right? But they're going into their third year, and we would know what else they bring to the table. Right now, Parsons, from a optimistic aspect, we can say, yeah, he's going to have a phenomenal second year. But in the minds, we said LVE had a hell of a good year first time, but can he repeat it? Por favor. Can he bring forth and keep it consistent? That's the name of the game. Anybody can have a one-year wonder, but what can you do after the fame You know, we always say one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. We stuck in this game searching for fortune and fame. You know, what do you do after you get those paychecks, after all of those spotlights are all over you? Can you bring it back? Can you repeat what you did the year before? I like to, look, go to the Pivot Podcast, Cowboy Nation, and listen to one of the Cowboys fans, Shaquille O'Neal. And his father raised him never to be satisfied, never to be a person to say, hey, these are the things that I accomplished. I've made it, baby. I'm now comfortable. No. Whatever you did the previous year is nothing. Goes into the wayside. It's all about bringing forth the impact for the next year and the next year after, the next year after that. And I come here to tell you guys, never to be satisfied. Yes, it's been 27 years. Yes, since that time frame, Jerry, Wayne, Jones, and things. Build a yacht, got a $2.5 billion workout facility, and got a $3.5 billion stadium that everybody go to, right? The helipad is nice, but we're not satisfied for those things. Blockchain and doing all of the cryptocurrency cowboy stuff, we're not satisfied with that. We're not satisfied for being 12-5, number one team in this division. No. You see, the foundation is laid now. And now, can you repeat what you done did? You see, the craziest thing about the 90s, it really started in 89, right before the 90s. And you see, they looked at Troy and they said, yes, he's a good player. He's a good athlete. But we know that we are not finna rely for him to carry the team by himself. The playmaker was already there. But they decided to draft a wide receiver. Oh, no, excuse me, I apologize. A running back. There I go. I got it right back on track. How about that? You see, you can't slip aside from me, Cowboy Nation. I messed up altogether, but you guys get what I'm saying. But they wasn't satisfied. That's the reality of it. They kept fighting. They kept clawing. And that's how eventually they were able to lift those Lombardi trophies up. And see, the Cowboys got to put those pieces together. I tell people all the time, ain't this right, Stephen White? And ain't this right, James, who called in earlier? What's your determination? How bad do you want it? If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besiege and beset it with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, guess what? You will get it. Right now, there's a name that will be called in the 5th round. No one knows it. No one can see it. But even he can make that impact. He just got to believe it, baby. Let's continue to grind and shine. I thank everybody for your time. That's been mine. Let's go. You see, in life, you will mess up, you will stumble. But get up.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's.
This week alone will be a week that I took off from my other daily activities, and all I'm thinking about is the Cowboys organization and developing and building up and looking over these players, Cowboy Nation. I do. So, push come to shove, there will be more and more content throughout the day. I really appreciate y'all. One love. Let's go.
the time when you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things when your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays,
shout out to your landlord. Shout out to you, Hilton, Asmodeus, Ken, Art. Appreciate you guys. Oh. Yeah. Love. I need to say this right quick. Turn my radio down. Oh. For the next donations giveaway, we will be giving away a plaque. And it's going to be brought to you by Cowboys Experience. We will have the link available. And it will be a plaque with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, as well as the playmaker. All autographed signed plaque in a frame that we're going to give away, valued north of $1,000, that we're going to give away for this particular. Since this month is over, it's going to be for the next month. We're going to do the drawings. We're going to give it away, and I'm going to have the illustration for you guys. So it don't start today, but it's going to be for this week. I'm waiting on Cowboys Experience to hit me up with the plaque, and it's going to be signed by Troy Aikman. Once again, Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith for the Cowboy fans that give you guys. So I really appreciate you so much. Sharing is caring, right? Let's go. I hope somebody win, and I promise you, you can have it somewhere in your house, and it'll be a great conversational piece, and say, hey, man, I won this from the show that Law Nation was giving it away, and he was on. So that's what we do, baby. Let's slow it down. Come on. As the world spin, the realities of your heart, soul, and sinew, we all winners. In the hearts of hearts, let's continue to grind and shine. The 2022 season will be elevated beyond your mind. Let's go. Let me hear this chime one more time.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Bring me out.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you.
And
for you. Ooh. Don't let the street lights lead you all alone.
Come on.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
You can't handle the truth.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do.
You get nothing.
Player too. 7 years of a perfect love. 7 more and another one. And another one.
If you're watching all the way to this point and you have not liked, shared, or subscribed, you know, come on.
Don't let the street lights lead you all alone.
Shame.
You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do.
Hey,
Player too.
that's how you move with it. In the 88 Cutlass.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
entertained? Are you not entertained?
Shout out to the Coupe de Ville. We up out. One love. Until next.